Statistics show that up to 35% of Vietnam's population lives in urban areas. Meanwhile, the urban land fund is increasingly tight, so the choice of living in apartments has become a popular trend among young families. When choosing a condo, many parents wonder how the living space here will affect the development of their children, because the children need green space and integrate with the world around to develop their physical and mental health. This is also the theme of the seminar, Optimizing Apartment Space, Raising Children in Condominiums, recently held in Hanoi. At the seminar, psychologists as well as participants said that although not being appreciated as landed houses, apartments with functional rooms make it easy and beneficial for families with older people and younger children. At present, in every high-rise apartment project, the architects and investors are interested in the space, utilities, and areas reserved for children to attract potential customers who are mainly young families.
Hello and welcome to Sharing Vietnam. Nowadays, many young families in Vietnam to sleep in apartments. Many of them have concern about an ideal space for the development of their children. And in terms of this topic, today we'll have a conversation with Mr. Bernard Seat, the representative of CapitaLand Vietnam, a company who has been running many apartment projects in Vietnam. So thank you, Mr. Bernard, for joining us today. So could you please share with us about the design and architectural space in general and architectural space in apartment make an impact on human life?
I think in Vietnam, as the city develops, the space is, we need to make full use of the space better and more efficiently, because as a city develops, right, we get more buildings, we get more people, so the whole city becomes more congested. So making use of space efficiently is very important, so that we don't feel like we are crammed together. We want people to still feel good, and as the population grows as well. So making efficient use of space is very important, and that is shown through a lot of the architectural work, especially through CapitaLand. We are always trying to be creative to build better projects to make use of space better. For example, in Singapore, because of space constraints as well, because Singapore is a lot smaller, so we are starting to do away with tennis court, squash court, and things like that, because these are facilities that take up a lot of space. Instead, we actually focus more on the holistic part of it. Whereas in Vietnam, I think we still have a lot. Our land size are actually comparatively a lot bigger, so we can actually incorporate things like the multi-purpose court in most importantly, I think it's a multi-purpose court. I think that's the most biggest difference I see in the different projects now, in the different countries now. In the more developed countries where the space are a lot smaller, we don't have space for so much facilities, so it goes to the swimming pool and the essential ones. But over here, we can actually develop a lot more. We can introduce a lot extra facilities to help enhance the lifestyle of the residents. That's what we see. That's what we see here. There's a lot more room for us to put in more facilities in Vietnam.
Young families nowadays choose to live in apartments. So how does living in apartment have an effect on their life and on their children's life as well?
Like I said, as a city develops and progresses, gone are the days where we will have huge pieces of land to build landed property where we have compound for children to run around. Right now, everybody is starting to move into apartment living, condo living. So I think having facilities, adequate facilities is very important, especially for children, because the children doesn't have space to run around anymore as the cities develop to spend time together. We think that in the childhood of children, as a child is growing, spending time with family is very important, because the child absorbs everything. So we want to provide space for the children and their family to be able to spend time together. We built to target for children, and we want children to be able to have fun, like our Kids Amaze, our kids pool, reading room, library. These are all facilities where we allow the children and the family.
Can you please share with us about the best ideal space for the development of children?
In a residential project, in a building, right, there's a space constraint on what we can do. Hence, it's true, that's why it's true, different building, different facilities, segregating it out from the rest of the facilities for children to spend time in. Like, for example, we have our Kids Amaze Place. It's an indoor playground for children to go in and have fun in a safe environment, rather than being out there under the sun and the harsh weather. You fall down, you get sick. But over here, you don't in the indoor space with the indoor playground, right? It's a lot safer for the children. It's all about safety as well. It is at the end of the day, so that the children can play and enjoy and grow in a safe environment. I think in the building itself, you must have a variety of space that caters to different activities. You need to have an active zone for kids to run around, to play. Your swimming pool area, your kids' pool. Places like this that allows the kid to exert themselves physically. Then at the same time, you need to have space for them to do quiet activities as well. Like you need to have a reading room, a library, or I think these are important. These are spaces that you definitely need, regardless of which country you are in, because you want to develop children. You want to let children develop themselves both physically and mentally. So you need to provide that kind of space for them, like like I say, an active zone. And your more passive activities like your library, your reading room, and things like that.
Mr. Huang's family moved to this apartment for nearly half a year. Since having 2 children, he and his wife had a lot of things to consider when moving to an apartment. There are many reasons to persuade him to make this decision, especially when the whole family joins the family day-to-day in the main hall of his residence.
Cái lựa chọn của nhà mình sống ở chung cư đó là sự an toàn cho trẻ nhỏ. Thứ hai nữa là ở chung cư thì cũng rất là nhiều gia đình trẻ và cũng rất là nhiều các nhà có những cái con cùng lứa tuổi nhỏ như này, và các bạn thì sẽ có nhiều được bạn bè hơn, và quan trọng nhất mình thấy sự an ninh hơn. Cũng là rất là quan trọng là cái sự dạy dỗ của gia đình, và không gian cũng đóng một phần trong vai trò ở trong.
As for Mr. Huang Ha and many other people living in apartments for years, this is a good space to take care of children. The living environment is spacious, with modern facilities for shopping, leisure, study, and relaxation. They will make families with children feel more satisfying with their little time budget.
Mặc dù là chung cư nhưng mà có rất là nhiều tiện ích cho trẻ em cũng như là cho cả gia đình có thể hoạt động sử dụng ở trong này và không cảm thấy bị bó hẹp. Mình có thể quản lý con cái rất là tiện, chẳng hạn như là đứng ở bếp mà vẫn có thể ngó thấy con đang làm gì và có thể nhắc nhở con.
Môi trường sống thì bao giờ cũng ảnh hưởng đến tâm lý không riêng chỉ trẻ con mà tất cả mọi người. Đấy, nhưng mà đặc biệt trẻ con thì nó rất là nhạy cảm, cho nên cái môi trường sống là đặc biệt là quan trọng. Hôm nay thì mình cũng muốn nói với các bạn, chia sẻ với các bà mẹ ở đây, đấy là cái vai trò của bố mẹ, của gia đình trong cái việc mà giáo dục trẻ và đặc biệt là chơi với trẻ. Để làm thế nào để con mình sống trong chung cư nhưng nó không bị bó trong 4 bức tường. Nó vẫn được biết đến thiên nhiên, nó vẫn được biết đến xã hội bên ngoài, vẫn biết được đến các cái cộng đồng ở bên ngoài nữa. Thì mình muốn nhấn mạnh về cái điều đó.
It is important for parents to educate their children, no matter in an apartment or a landed house. Many experts say that the modern environment, together with the open space, will have a positive impact on children's development.
Could you please share with us about the experiences in developing property projects for children in Singapore?
Well, I mean, through my interaction with many of our residents and buyers, I think facilities is one of the top priority on their list when it comes to buying an apartment, especially when it comes to the children, considering for the children. As I kept repeating myself again and again, right? I think a lot of parents want to be living in an environment where their kids can play and learn safely. So, and as life gets more hectic, work life gets more hectic, parents are working longer hours outside, they are more tired, they come back from work. I mean, Of course, now people are still bringing their kids out, to the lakes, to the different lakes to walk, to old quarters and everything. But I think as our life gets busier, as the parents' life gets busier, sometimes when they are back, when they want to interact with their children, right, they don't want to go outside. They want to have enough facilities, enough space for them to actually still do the same thing with their children, but instead of going out, they can do it between their own home, I would say. So having outdoor playground, indoor playground, green space, open space, swimming pool area for them to actually interact with their children, I think that's very important.
Could you please share with us about your experiences in developing property projects in other countries in terms of other space for children?
Well, in CapitaLand, right, we are always looking at, our credo is actually building people, building communities. So whatever project that we want to develop, right, is always with people in mind, with the end user in mind. Right now, Hanoi is probably is developing very fast. It's going to become a concrete jungle very soon. So everywhere you go, there's going to be tall buildings, office buildings. I mean, in Hanoi, I realized that a lot of people like to go to old quarters, like to go to the lake and have a picnic and whatnot. So instead of going out there, we bring all these facilities back into the house, into the building, where people can do that between the building instead of going out. So that's the trend I see that will be moving forward. That's what we're going to do.
Could you please share with us about the focus of many families in choosing their home?
During the weekend, they don't have to go out anymore. If they so choose to, they want to stay at home, they want to stay indoor, they can actually do it with their children. They don't have to go out anymore. That's what attracts them. That's the first priority, actually. Yeah. What are the best options? I think right now, for young family, there's a lot of factors to consider of affordability. I think as young family, when they have young family means they have young children as well. I think safety is also very important. Security is very important. So I think choosing the right place where it's secure and safe, I think that's very important. That should be the #1 priority of all young families. It means an environment that is safe for their children.
What is the best option for young family to choose the ideal space, in your opinion?
As the middle class grows in the country, right, which is going to be the case, we're going to see a lot of more young families coming out to buy their first home, and then with the young children in mind, right? I think most developers will have to, when they build new projects, they have to keep in mind the kind of space and lifestyle they want to have that can cater to young families with little kids. That means we will probably have to incorporate a lot more facilities that will allow the young children to play and to be safe. All the architectural design, all the facilities between the interior design, it has to be with children in mind, so that the facility will be safe for them to use. If you see the residents, especially in Season 17 or ML, right, there are a lot of children around. So multi-purpose courts, swimming pool. In fact, as the year comes by, as we would like to try new things as well. We might want to build indoor rock climbing for the children, or indoor skydiving for children as well. These are things, innovative things that we are trying to incorporate into our future projects as well. And I see that that's probably what's going to happen further down the road, right? Facilities that children can enjoy within the comforts of their home, rather than going outside, to amusement park or whatnot. They can do it here.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And that's all for our Share in Vietnam today. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode.